All right, hey, welcome to HIT. This is Chris Cicchinelli, High Intensity Tactics for Growth. And today we're going to be talking about dealing with high stress times. You know, I thought about this because, you know, I'm actually dealing with some things right now, very, very tactical, getting ready for 2020 right now. People are like, you know, is it stressful when you're thinking about a new year, a new plan, new offerings? New ways to go out there and grow your business. I mean, because not only am I a CEO, but I'm also a dad. And, you know, school just started back up. I mean, we had, school just kicked off. We got kids in writing lessons, 2 of them in volleyball. I got 1 that's in football, trying to run a business, trying to run my social life, trying to also, stay married, in this crazy world that we live in, which is so fast paced. Everything's got, a whole nother level of stress. And I had to think about this because I was dealing with a couple of people that I coach, and somebody said, Chris, how do you deal with stressful situations? How do you deal with, yourself, on a day-to-day basis and don't get yourself going down a path of maybe depression or, anxiety or all the fears that could set in when stress kind of kicks up? And I said, let me tell you a couple things that I'm doing. And I've been doing these for a long, long time. And the reason I've had to is I've had to overcome some of these issues. I've had to overcome some of this, running a business and doing all those pieces. And if people came and saw when I was at SSW or, when we're at national trainings or different events, the first thing that I say is that every morning, no matter what city I'm in, no matter where I'm at, I am a huge affirmations person. I am a person that I believe that you got to wake up and you got to get out of bed. You got to get moving. And so the first thing that I do is I get in front of the mirror, and I sit back and I get in my pose. Some of you guys probably, if you're, in your place right now, if you're driving, don't do this. But if you're sitting here and you're listening to it in your office, stand up, right? You stand up, you get yourself excited, you get in that pose, you're ready to go, you're ready to rock and roll. And the next thing you do is this. You sit back in that moment and you go, woo! Today is going to be a great day, Chris Cicchinelli. It's going to be a fantastic day. Now, some people might think that that's absolutely crazy. I don't care. You might think it's crazy, but it's worked for me. It's worked for me for years. And it's worked because, I do it every day. And I feel like this creates this level of increased dopamines, right? The feel-good hormone. I get that blood flowing, that workout, that whole thing that I need to make sure, because when you're at a high level of stress and when you've got so much going on as a business owner, as a parent, as a significant other, as a sister, as a wife, as whatever it might be, you got to figure out how you are going to go out there and keep it under control. How are you going to be able to be focused on what needs to get accomplished? The other thing too is this, I try to also do a little bit of meditation. I tell people, if you're out there and you're sitting there thinking meditation is kind of like how I thought about it. I thought it was this kind of hokey thing, like what I can really listen to my thoughts. I'm going to listen to some chimes or some music that somebody's playing. I thought that it was kind of the dumbest thing that I ever heard, right? You always hear people saying, hey, Chris, you should take yoga or you should be able to do some sort of meditation. All of that kind of stuff is so important for your mind. And I was not a big, huge, firm believer in this, but I will tell you, I meditate 8 minutes every day. And it's probably not enough, but it's enough right now where I'm able to do that. And when I'm really, really stressed, it is the time that I'm able to get clarity. It's the time that I'm able to sit back and really be able to game plan with my thoughts. It's able to really sit back and go, hey, okay, Chris, take those deep breaths. Let things happen, let it come in, open up, stop texting, stop getting on your cell phone, and just be present. Nobody else is there with me when I'm doing it. It's just me. But I need to do that. And I'm telling you, if you're high stress right now, get in that time, that meditation time. But that's also that meditation time where you say, hey, look, if you're watching this on YouTube right now and you see this, look, here's the deal. The cell phone, this thing is crazy, right? It is literally the most insane thing that we have. And sometimes you have to unplug from the technology. We are so concerned about this piece of, machinery that we have. And I will tell you right now that this does cause a lot of stress because you always feel like when those notifications go off or you see those, if it's Facebook or if it's Instagram or whatever it might be, something comes across your phone, you feel obligated to answer it like you're answering your door. Like, no, you don't have to look at every piece, everything that comes across. No, man. I mean, like, because all that does is if you feel you're constantly obligated to do that, it's just going to increase your stress. So I tell people unplug. Unplug. You've meditated, you laughed, you've gotten that power pose, you started off that day, you got off your day, you started moving, you started really, going out there, putting some exercise into your day. I don't care. I tell people all the time, I don't care what you do exercise-wise. If you wake up and you get at least 15 to 20 minutes in, I don't care if you walk back and forth in your kitchen. I don't care if you're going out there on your front porch and you're just walking, back and forth. It does not matter to me. I just want you to get up and get moving. I want that blood flow to get doing because that also helps with relieving stress. My most stressful when I'm the worst is if I am stressed out and I'm dealing with a high level and I'm not working out. The first thing I do, and this is me, everybody's got a different thing. The first thing for me is that I go to food. Like it becomes my workout. It becomes my comfortability. It becomes that thing. And I tell people all the time, like, you have to be cognizant and know if you're high stress, you're not doing the right things for your body, what becomes your outlet? My outlet became, hey, look, I would eat and I would feel lethargic. And then that lethargic would turn into being tired. And then I'd find myself not being able to accomplish my task that I needed to accomplish for that day. It was a circle I couldn't get out of. And so, doing and being a CEO and doing this for 19 years, the one thing that I tell people in business, and if I'm coaching them, is you got to listen to yourself. You got to also make sure that you're charting down what's happening to yourself. You've got to do that because how do you know if you're improving? How do you know if you're not improving? How do you know if you're getting better, not get better? You gotta have some history. You got to know what's going on. It's important. The other thing too is this is, you have to move forward every day, right? Like that's the other thing. If you're dealing with a stressful situation, if I've done acquisitions, if I've done, buying other types of businesses, or if I have had to make some tough decisions, like, today was a high stress decision. I had to go in and sit down with, Max's, my middle child's, like therapist. And I sat down and, Max has got a severe case of ADHD. And, he was diagnosed with it. And they were like, look, I want to medicate him. And I'm a proponent that I didn't want to medicate him. And so this is a stressful situation for me. It was a situation that I sat back, and it wasn't necessarily a business decision that was making me stressed today. It was that conversation that was going to happen. So I did my homework. I went, found out what was there, what are some of the side effects. And we sat down, and I said to myself, okay, hey, good news is we're going to try something new. But we're also going to chart it out. We're going to find out if we're making changes, and we're going to evaluate this every week to see what is it from a side effect perspective. Are we improving from our focus perspective? Are we improving from our IQ perspective? And we're going to make sure as a family that we do that. It's a stressful situation. Now, I could have sat back and did nothing about this and said, you know what, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. And we're going to put tutors, we're going to do things, but I'm willing to make a change. I'm willing to try something for the betterment of my child, but I'm not going to try something and not keep record of it and not track it, because I see too many people just try stuff and they don't know if they're really improving or not. And then they don't know if it's the right thing or not the right thing. They don't know if they should continue to keep moving forward, not move forward. I'm a proponent that at the end of the day, you keep your records, you listen to yourself, you make sure you're finding out if you're moving forward, but you got to do something. And I see too many people that are stuck and they're paralyzed because they're stressed out. They don't know what to do. I'm going to give you the biggest key. Move forward. Move forward. If you're a future leader out there and you've been in my future leader program, the biggest thing I talk about is I have a charm that I give every future leader, and it's got a key that looks like an F upside down, right? And it's unlocking a door. And we talk about that. That's our symbol. And our symbol means that we're moving forward each and every day. We're making progress each and every day. Success, we already understand. Success is a continual journey. It's never over. We're going to keep pushing forward. That's what we do. So if you're somebody that's out there right now, and you're sitting and going, I have stress in my life. I've got a lot of stuff that's going on. We all do. But to sit there and think about it all the time and not do something about it and not have a plan, I just laid a plan out for you. It's a plan that's worked for me. It's worked for people I coach. It's worked for people that I talk to. It's worked for other executives that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. And that is something that's important. Get up, get that power pose going. If it's going out there and making sure you're doing some meditation, if it's laughing, smile. It's okay to smile. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to have that. Moving forward, unplugging from technology. Change your perspective on stress and move forward. Thanks so much for tuning in to HIT. This is Chris Cicchinelli, High Intensity Tactics for Growth. Remember, live life by design, not by default. Have a great day, guys.